Yamaha presents the Whitetail Diaries, chronicling hunting adventures of the most plentiful and intelligent big game animal in North America. Join top whitetail hunters nationwide and embark on the amazing adventure that is hunting the whitetail deer. It's mid-December here in Texas, which means two things. Steve Nessel of Yamaha Outdoors is in camp, and the whitetail rut is in full swing.
Well, we are outside Brackenville, Texas, the Whitetail Diaries deer camp in the month of December. And what has become, for me, kind of a tradition, coming out to chase whitetail during the rut. And as always, coming in looking for a trophy deer. Problem is you never really know where those deer are gonna be. They're just not in their patterns. Everything you've done leading up to the rut, and even some of the stuff you'll do after the rut, is really just out the window. You hope that the deer you're looking for, or that you think is going to be in a certain setup, a certain area of a property is going to be there, but you don't expect him to be there when he was there before. It's just not doing what they normally do, right? We know what they're trying to do, we know what they're after, and we know what we expect to see bucks doing when we get into a setup at the peak of the rut. And this year really wasn't any different. Coming in, I actually got in really, really late. We actually pulled a little bit of an audible, and instead of going to hunt what I would say would originally be my spot, which was the Big Bluff, we got up in camp the first morning and went out to one of my favorite spots, which is the Killing Tree. At our sit that morning, we saw a young 10-point. Never had the urge, knew better. Couple does, I think maybe a small spike or a button buck, but that's about it. I think we saw 4 or 5 deer. It was a good morning. Fun morning, but it wasn't productive. We really needed to get on some deer. We really wanted to get a good deer on the ground here in the rut. And you know, one of the better deer that he'd seen on camera out near the Big Bluff on another ranch that we hunt nearby. And the idea was, let's go sit that spot. And I love sitting that spot because you're on the ground, you're overlooking a big expansive area. You can watch the deer messing around going away from you. You can watch them as they're coming in. They pop up on you from underneath. It's just awesome. It's a fun place to sit. And he'd seen a good deer over there, and he's like, let's go, you know, it's a rut. We don't know. We honestly don't know if he'll show up. So you're kind of rolling the dice to go sit there and see if you could just be there in the window that he decides to come through. You marry that to, he's probably got other things on his mind with those coming through too, and you're hoping that you just get a chance to see him.
Well, as Steve and cameraman Jeff settled in at the Big Bluff, let's join Wade as he takes care of some ranch work as one of the ponds they hunt has dried up.
You know, we're at the Killing Tree right now, and it's one of our, we've hunted this stand for 14, 15 years now, and there's a great well behind us, but it's dry right now, not pumping any water. And when it's full, the cistern, it overflows into here, and we can pump water, but right now it's totally dry. So we're actually hauling water from another well that we've got in this big, tank, about 400 or 500 gallons at a time, and it'll take us 8, 9, 10, 12 times to get water in here. But if we don't, this end of the property, this end of the lease has no water, and our deer will find another place to go where they can find water, which is probably a long way right now. We're about 20 months into an extended drought, in my opinion, in the area that our deer lease is at, where our camp is right now. And it's beginning to show and wear a little bit on the deer, mostly in their antler configurations. You're seeing a little less mass, and you're seeing a lot more deer that are already showing signs of being broken up. And to see this many deer missing brow tines, missing parts of their main beam, is something we're just gonna have to deal with this year.
We'll join back up with Steve at the Big Bluff when we return.
Inside every Yamaha lives the heart and soul of a competitor. The DNA of a champion. When you ride with us, it revs your heart and becomes a part of you too.
trade hours for seconds.
God, country, and the great outdoors. That's how my dad raised me. So it was only natural that I joined the United States Army. That's when I first used Trijicon. I used them again as a civilian police officer for 12 years. Now I'm blessed to hunt all over the world, and I only want the best optics on the planet, Trijicon. Dan Catlin, former U.S. Army, military police.
Trijicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Steve Nessel has got his sights set on a whitetail buck that's been seen chasing does around an area we call the Big Bluff. With it being the rut, there's no telling whether or not that buck will even make an appearance, but there's always plenty of action to pass the time during the rut. It's not to be unexpected during the rut that a target whitetail buck isn't seen as planned, as bucks often expand their home ranges in search of does to breed, and well, when they do, you often never see that buck again.
We pretty much had in mind, though, that we weren't going to leave that place. We talk about getting a deer in a window, we just didn't hit the window. So let's come back in the morning, see if that's going to be our window. If he's going to come by, maybe we catch him running a doe up into the area. So we literally left some of our gear in that spot. Left our chairs there, I left the bog pod there, and we came back knowing full well that unless the skies opened up and we had to scramble for whatever reason, weather looked good, we were going to be back at the Big Bluff the next morning. We're about to get in the RMAX and head out. We want to get in and get quiet when it's dark, but we don't want to be sitting there for too long. We're hunting a specific deer. He's a big one, but he's not patterned. It's a rut. He just comes in to this area sometimes several times a day at random, odd times. So we're really kind of rolling the dice, but we actually have lots of options. You need to take a doe. There's always management deer to be culled as well. So it's just a beautiful place to sit. Hopefully the big guy walks in, and if he doesn't, we'll see what else we see. And nothing happens this morning. We got the afternoon, nothing wrong with any of that. Pretty soon, it started to get light. Not only did it get light, we started to see a lot of cool stuff out in front of us. Midway through the sit, Jeff saw a 10 disappear into the bottom, couldn't find him. We waited for a while, we really did. From about 9 till about 10:15, 10:20, we're starting to say, well, it's slowed down. We didn't hit the window this time. We start talking about, are we gonna come back to the Big Bluff tonight? Probably not, let's let it rest, go try a different spot. I think at 10:20, I asked Jeff, I said, are you ready to go? Are you getting antsy? He's like, no, actually, I'm pretty comfortable. And I'd have to venture no less than 2 minutes later, he freaks out, and he said, there's our buck.
Sometimes the world can seem a cold place, so we gotta bring the warmth to it. Sometimes the world can seem a dark place, so we gotta become the light in it. Sometimes the world can seem a broken place, so we gotta strive to fix it. We prepare for the worst, but we must always, always expect the best. Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Sitting later into the morning during the rut often pays off for a patient hunter, and in this case, Steve's patience has paid off with a big 10-point coming right down the trail toward him.
Yep. He's bigger on his left side than he is on his right. That's a good deer. I'd like for him to put that leg up. You ready?
Stoned him. Sucker's got some long tines.
He's a big one. He's a big one. Oh, it shakes.
That's
I can't find him. I can't find him in my scope right now.
He's on the other side of that cactus.
He's right there. That's all I care about.
That's the one we seen way up there a while ago.
I think so.
It is.
I don't. There's obviously several good bucks in this area. What a morning. What a morning.
That was quite a morning.
There's a monster down in front of us right now. Holy cow. Ah!
Good shot, man.
Woo! This
Wow.
this is a nice gun. This trigger's beautiful. Holy cow, breaks clean. I mean, I just knew that if I just got it right where I wanted and just nice pull, squeeze, boom, bang, good night. All we gotta do is get the R-Max, go collect him. Woo. Yeah. Wow. We'll go get the R-Max and drive to him. I got some adrenaline pumping right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't need this, but we'll take some shots at the TC in a minute. Oh, look at this guy. Oh. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Oh. What a stud. Okay, this guy has been running around this spot, well, for days, but it's in the rut. And we saw him because of these right here, these jutting back twos, running left to right yesterday. Saw him chasing a doe and a buck, chasing a buck off this morning. And just as we're getting ready to leave, well, thinking about getting ready to leave, he walks out and hung out for a minute and just a little too long. What a beautiful spot. We got a bluff over here at Big Bluff. And now we got a very sweet deer on the ground. Thank you, dude. Already told Mr. Wade we got him, so it won't be a surprise when we get back to camp. Man, he comes all the way around, but we will celebrate him for sure. Get him into the RMAX, get him back. Man, he's rutting up. Ox. Oh yeah, yeah, it's that time of year. That time of year when these guys, it can be hard to find. You don't know where they're gonna be, but you can get lucky and they can come into your life, and if you do the right thing by them, you can take them home. My wife, I already texted her, she's already stoked. She's glad to fill the freezer back up. December in Texas, can't beat it.
Put them in the RMAX, one of the first deer that I've been able to put in the all-new RMAX 1000. Came back to camp, celebrated, and notched another deer in the Texas rut.
Congratulations, Steve, on another memorable entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Don't go away, Steve isn't done yet, as he not only looks to fill his freezer with venison, but also help manage the deer herd. Stay tuned.
There's no feeling like it. When you've prepped the gear, done the research, found the spot, nailed the presentation, and now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. So gear up with all the best fishing gear. Only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in-store or online.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler. Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Earlier in the show, Steve was able to knock down a 10-point, but he still has one tag remaining, and over the next few days, Steve and the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries crew have been traveling across the property to multiple locations using the Wolverine RMAX side-by-side in search of a deer to fill the void of Steve's remaining tag.
We used the all-new Wolverine RMAX 1000 on the course of this trip. We're out in it every time we went out. It's been out here for the better part of several months now. It's got its almost full deer season under its belt, the RMAX does. Through its versatility, dumping cargo bed, D-mode, trail, crawl, sport, obviously the on-command four-wheel drive, automatic transmission. It has become one of the workhorses in the stable, but it also is probably one of the most sought after to go seek deer. It's fun to be in, it's fun to have out here, it's fun to put deer in the back of it. Fun to illustrate just how versatile, how functional, how well-rounded that machine is.
Learn more about the Wolverine RMAX 1000 at YamahaOutdoors.com. Let's join back up with Steve on a foggy morning in a muddy box blind nearby a pipeline for his last hunt of the trip.
Morning hunt. It's kind of weird morning. The weather changed quite a bit overnight. It's not super cool, but it's getting cooler. We got a front coming in with a bunch of wind, a lot of moisture in the air, and we're in a different spot again this morning. We're moving around. We haven't hunted the same spot twice. It's really kind of a game in Texas in December of let's just go see what we see, because the deer are moving. There's sign over here. We know there are bucks in the area. We just don't know if they're not really patternable right now, so we're on a mission for a trophy for sure, but we're also on a kind of cold patrol as well. So so far this morning it took a long time to get light. You can kind of see the mist and the moisture hanging just off the ground. We were hoping it was going to have a deer up and moving because it's going to get really windy later today, but so far just a couple of small bucks and some does. So it's early in the sit. We'll be sitting here for at least several more hours, so we'll see what comes through. what he's chasing. A little forky. Okay, good. That's movement. Quite literally. Running around.
After watching that buck chase does for some time, the decision was made that he was a good management buck to finish out Steve's hunt and fill the freezer.
You ready? We didn't see hardly anything, but that's a deer that needs to go. So it was really about a morning of target opportunities, and while we'd hoped to see a trophy deer, they're just not chasing. It's a weird morning, a weird rut. So we're gonna go down and check this deer out and get him, load him up, count him as one out of the herd that we needed out of the herd, even if he's not the trophy we came out for this morning. But we did work, so we'll go look, make sure we can find him, because he didn't drop where he was.
After giving the deer some time just to be on the safe side, the crew ventured out and found the blood trail, and plans were made for a venison cookout.
He didn't go but maybe 45 yards, 50 yards at the most. So luckily I only spent about an hour and 15 minutes beating myself up over it, and for no reason, because he's right here. He's right now here. Good cold buck, good deer we want to take out of the field, out of the system. And he was chasing does this morning. I think we got footage of him out there running them pretty good. This one looks like it's broke off, but the objective, the goal this morning, December, it's a rut. We've been trying a bunch of different places, seeing what we could see. Doing work during the day, moving cameras. We got new property we're working, trying some spots out there, kind of scouting missions, hoping a trophy buck walk by. We hope a trophy buck walk by this morning too. It was cool, warmer now, the wind's gonna go, the front's coming in, the weather's just weird, the rut's weird this year. But we did our job on getting this guy out of here, so, oh my goodness. Another successful trip, great time in Southwest Texas. God help me if the day comes out when I don't get to come out here the month of December.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. We'll see you next time. This episode was made possible by these partners.
Unlock your buck's full genetic potential with Record Rack Sportsman Premium Deer Feed, with all the vitamins and minerals to support healthy body weight and antler growth. You're not just feeding your deer, you're feeding them better. Learn more at recordrack.com.
Many said that we were just obsessed when we started, that there had to be an easier way to smoke food. As time passed, the Bradley family created a lineup of Bradley electric smokers that has made it easier for the novice or even expert chef to get perfect results every time they use it. Grab yourself a Bradley smoker and take your cooking to an all-new level.
Introducing the Hawk series of box blinds, the ultimate box blinds for serious hunters. Insulated steel panels provide unmatched thermal, scent, and noise control. One-hand operable silent windows are designed for archers as well as gun hunters, while a roto-molded roof and window frames keep rain and snow out of the blind. Hawk blinds have the features serious hunters demand and are backed by a limited lifetime warranty, so your investment will last in the field for years to come. All new box blinds by Hawk.
Want to know why the top shooting pros choose High-Vis? High-Vis has an enormous lineup of sights for every shooting platform possible that are clean looking and easy to mount. Improve your shooting with faster target acquisition and eliminate cross-eyed dominance. High-Vis sights are the brightest out there, helping you find your target with ease no matter the shooting conditions. Choose the best. Choose High-Vis and see what you've been missing.
For 30 years, Conquest Deer Farm has been producing superior genetics. This created the most demanded whitetail scent in the hunting industry. Over the past few years, we have been working on a synthetic line just like our proven whitetail line, and we succeeded. Just ask Cody Robbins.
Conquest Scents has made the very best scents to lure in bucks with success. Their synthetic line combines the best scent with an incredible focus on the overall health of our wildlife.